We are at HRET, Holistic Riding Equestrian Therapy. With me is Marlene. You run this whole thing, right?
Well, no, without volunteers, you can't do anything.
Well, you organize this whole thing, don't you?
I organize the circus, yes.
You guys are our recipient this month for January for a Credit for a Cause with Fitness Premier 24/7. We got you a little bit of cash, and it's really needed right now because of what's behind us. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened back here?
Yes, we've been in the process of purchasing this 10-acre farm so that we have a permanent home, and we've been doing some revisions to the structures and the buildings as a tenant. However, in the meantime, on December 11th, there was a fire that the fire department has identified as an explosion of a battery in one of our security lights.
Security lights, yeah.
So you're required to have backup emergency lighting, but who would have thought that the battery from that would have exploded? It dropped down behind the wooden structure here and it started the building on fire. 2 children skateboarding at 10:15 at night saw it, and they called the police and the fire department, thank goodness, because the entire facility could have gone up. We have no water, we're on well and septic, so
Wow.
that would have been an ugly fire.
An ugly fire. It's bad enough as it is.
Right.
But it could have been a lot worse.
Well, the issue right now is we were all ready with this new insulation we just put in and paid for. We were ready to heat the arena so we could start lessons now in February, but we can't because we have to replace all of this and then heat the arena. The good news is the fire department did not have to drag any horses or people out of this fire.
Yes.
So it was a great fire, and we've decided to work with them to come up with an evacuation fire plan for all the ranches that have animals so that they know how to take the animals out safely.
That's something a lot of people don't think about because they do get a little freaked out when there's fire.
A little?
Now, we talked about the need and what you guys do a little bit, but let's really dive into what you guys do because Holistic Riding Equestrian Therapy. Can you tell us a bit about this arena and that handy little contraption you have over there?
Okay. That again was a gift from the HRET Foundation. We have riders that are confined to a wheelchair, and their only opportunity to weight bear is if they are supported by a specific type of lift or apparatus. So we are able to lift children and adults out of their wheelchair, put the lift over the center of the horse, and lower it down on their back very slowly. And our horses are trained to stand there until this process is done, and it can take 1 minute to 15 minutes.
You guys have ponies?
Yes, we
big
do.
Horses, and you guys have, what, 10 acres here?
Yes, 10 acres that we need to purchase, that needs to belong to HRET.
Yeah, you guys need to own it so you
We
can
need
go
to
on those
own it.
long rides, and it's amazing what it does for your mind and psyche. Can we go look at all the horses?
Sure, we can, absolutely.
Right.
The bonding with a horse has healing modalities that no other therapy has. It's either the size of the horse or the magnitude of these children that have no control over anything in their life. Some of them are not even continent, and they have control over a 1,000-pound animal. This takes their energy and their attitude, their self-esteem, their self-respect. It builds them into new people.
It is amazing. If you've never seen it happen, you're going to want to see it happen.
You have to see it. We also create postgraduate opportunities here. A lot of the families are thinking that when their kids age out at 22 that that's pretty much it for their education.
No.
Not true. We hook them up with a dentist, a farrier, a vet, and they become their sidekick. And this is what they want to do. I want to work at the barn when I'm 14, Mom. So these kids are candidates for Black Hawk College because they can.
Cool.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Body. It's cognitive, social, emotional, spiritual. It's a whole thing. It's holistic.
It's a transformation that happens.
Oh,
right
holistic
here.
transformations. What a catchy name.
Amazing. You should call it
Maybe
that.
we should use
All
that.
right, let's go look at the horses.
Alrighty. So this is Shiloh. Shiloh is the senior of our program. He was our first therapy horse. I took my PATH certification up at Bravehearts in Rockford, Illinois. And for that certification, I rode this guy. And they didn't like him anymore because he was getting feisty in the arena. Horses are just like people. They don't want to do the same thing every day of their life. So Shiloh politely told them he was tired of arena work and kids flopping around on him and screaming on him. So we bought him, brought him here, took him out on trail for a couple of years, and he's a new horse. He's perfect in the program right now. The kids that ride him come up with gold medals.
Nice.
So he was really rescued. So we rescued him from a life that he wasn't liking anymore and made him enjoy his life again.
Now he's rescuing kids.
Now
It's
he's
an
rescuing
amazing
kids.
thing.
Isn't it funny how it goes forward? I must look like a scratching post,
You do.
I guess. The woman that owned him retired in Arizona after an extremely serious accident. Not on him, but on another horse. And she was going to put him down because she said nobody would take care of her horse like she would. She came here and she watched us for a month with him and said he's died and gone to horsey heaven. He can stay. So this is Oliver.
What kind of a gait does Oliver have? Is he like a Tennessee Walker
Yeah.
or okay,
Yeah.
Tennessee Walker gait?
He has more of a little bit of a Missouri fox trotter
Okay.
move to him.
Okay.
But it depends on who's on him and how they collect him because they can get different gaits out of him depending
That's
on
amazing.
depending on the pressure. He knows his job. He loves his job. We go camping with him. He can ride 5, 6, 7, 8 hours and it doesn't even bother him.
He is such a sweetheart.
Isn't he sweet? The chocolate cover. The kids love this chocolate color. You good boy. This is our baby girl. She was just donated. The owner didn't want any horse in his group that didn't make at least $20,000 a year for him at the track.
Oh, geez.
She's 4 years old. He was going to. He didn't really care what happened to the horses from this point on because they're not conforming for his purposes.
Correct. Yeah.
So she is as sweet as can be, but she's a 4-year-old thoroughbred, so anybody that wants to work with her and break her, you're welcome to the team.
20 years ago, I'd have done it for you, but today, ponies are so much fun, and they're great for little kids, and these guys really are gentle and docile.
Oh, they're very gentle. They're
Nope,
very kind.
gotta
Where do you
stay.
think you're going? You're not leaving. These are the ponies that little Sammy started on when he was riding. He literally could not carry his weight. In 2012, we started with one rider.
Yeah.
And it was a young man who had difficulties during the birthing process, and he ended up to be a quadriplegic with spastic problems and seizures. When we started with Sammy, he couldn't hold his head up to wear a helmet. When he got his feeding tube and had to retire from riding, he was able to take his one arm and move it forward very slowly to touch a green sign, which meant he should have his pony walk on. So he touched the sign. He thought he was making the pony move. We made the pony move. He went crazy. But the secret of that little move entitled him to get a wheelchair from the state
Unbelievable.
that has a power stick. We painted it green, and Sammy went trick-or-treating for the first time last year by himself.
By himself.
His father put horses on the front of his wheelchair, and Sammy pushed the throttle to make it go.
There you go.
It took us from 2015 till 2022.
That
But
is-
his family looks at him as a born-again child with
Absolutely.
a purpose.
And he looks at himself that way as well, too.
He's laughing and drooling and slobbering all over the place. And if he hears my voice on the phone and I say, Sammy, what does the horsey say? And I go, he starts laughing and drooling.
Yeah, laughing and
So it's there. It's in his head somewhere. He can't speak it and he can't articulate it, but he knows.
He knows it.
He knows.
And that's really what holistic riding equestrian therapy is all about, is changing the lives of individuals, no matter how young, how old, you're suffering from PTSD, contact holistic riding equestrian therapy. Marlene, thank you for letting us come in and
Thank
see.
you.
Thank you for letting us be a part of it today.
No problem. You're welcome back anytime. I've got these horses that you can be riding for us.
I see, you know.
I want a true
God
cowboy.
bless you. God bless you. We'll
Well,
see you Tuesday night.
this is God's program, and if it's His will that we be here and get through this fire, it'll happen. So I'm just waiting. I got to
Absolutely.
learn patience.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Don't wait. Contact him today.
All right, call us. Bye-bye.